Sister Golden Hair. Bye, America. And I got my members back. Now, I have to say, if you were a member and you would like to be a member, please come on over. It's very easy to do. Let's get some people in here. Remain Calm is going to give out some memberships. We'll see who gets them. Hopefully, people that appreciate them. And if you are interested, please become a member. I can promise you we are going to start having some members only lives, and you never know what you're going to get over here. But that's the way it is all the time anyway. So thank you, We's a member. Hey, Mr. A. Hello, Eve. Deb, how are you? I hope things are going well for you. Thank you for coming in. Always appreciate you. The Mouse, how are you? Hopefully everything's going well with you, darling. For sure. I am going to pin the link. I'm going to pin the link. So, yes. Obama Cat, you're still a member. Good to see you, Obama Cat. That is so cool. I'm telling you guys, that was, yeah. YouTube made me ugly cry. How dare you, YouTube, make Remain Calm ugly cry? I don't, you guys pretty much know me by now. My subs know me. I don't really let a lot of things bother me. You know, not that I really share with people, but yes, you have access to our 4 little thingy dingies that I made myself for my members. You guys should have access to those. Hey, Marie, Stephen, I'm glad you changed your name again. Stephen always lets me know when he's changing his name. It's really cool. Wow, we got a freaking crap load of snow. Luckily, we've got the truck. Chad went out 2 different times today and shoveled a crap load of snow. Hey, Peace. Okay, let me pull my chat up. I will pin that link. And today's just a day anybody can come up, talk about whatever you want to talk about. We're going to kind of go over some stuff that's going on the YouTube streets. I'm going to give my opinion on it. That's what I do over here. I commentate and I give my opinion. If you like it, that's a good thing. Let me, let's throw this banner up for sure. For sure. Let's start out with a. Okay, hang on. I want to tell you guys where this story's happening at. So this just happened like last week. And there is a couple named Nicholas Shanks, 27, and Shelby Coons, 25. They pled not guilty. A judge set a bond of $500,000 full cash on these individuals. WDRB, let me share that link really quickly. This story just came to my attention. So apparently some people have a problem if you change your name. I don't know necessarily, Marie, um, that people have a problem if you change your name. The thing about social media, um, some people think that individuals change their names because they've kind of went around causing problems, and that's not necessarily true. Sometimes people just change their name so, they just want to change their name. But no, um, some people are like that. A lot of people, let me say this, with my people, my subs, if someone changes their name, they always tell me. They always tell me. And you don't have to necessarily tell me in chat, but if someone changes their name, they usually let me know. That way I know who it is, right? But that is very true. A lot of people think that a name change is being done because somebody's went around YouTube and they've started shit and they've acted up. May May, here comes May May. May May never has to change her name. No way. Not May May. I think I got a membership. I might have done it wrong because nothing. If your name would have green. Jenny. Jenny, I adore you, Jenny. Always, always, always. Granny Grump a lot. Daily grind in the moan. That is so cute, You had to learn how to behave in chat. Yes, I mean, a lot of creators, and I know, I heard a whole spiel on Remain Calm saying fuck, right? Scott. Mom always said my name was Mud. Scott H. Scott H. I signed up for a new membership. I meant to put. Oh, I don't know, darling. I don't know. I'm going to actually, I am allowed to give out so many memberships. Let me find it here, darling. Da-da. All right, people in the bushes. Here they come. There's 5. 5, 5, 5. Your gifted memberships have been announced in chat. We've got Angie's Live, The Piratess, Inspector Gadget, Rosie. Rosie, you got one? Someone called Doxy. Okay. That is 5. Dubai don't like the Flintstones, but Abby Dobby do. Ooh. I don't know if I would ever want to go to Dubai. Okay? I really don't. It's a beautiful place, but they kind of don't tell you what happens behind the scenes. Right? Same name, 2 accounts. I've never changed my name, you guys. Never. I remember I already had Remain Calm's always been my name. Remain Calm through the YouTubian galaxy. I've not ever changed it one time. I did have someone after I started coming out and going into a couple chats that tried to go into some chats using the Remain Calm name. And I very kindly made sure to let people know that that person was not me And that person and their opinions were definitely not mine or real. Remember? Yes, I remember, Marie. What about it, darling? I believe that red van that the Wells had. Hey, Deb. I ain't getting swapped for camels. May. May, I'm gonna remove that comment. But I feel ya. I feel you, May. For real. May, you're something else. You are something else. For sure. That was the only time I spoke to you, tell you I liked your name, Scott H. channel before. Yeah, Scott had a channel. I would always go over and check his channel out and listen to it for sure. Always appreciate when Scott pops in. Like I said, there's the link if you want to take it. We'll talk about whatever you guys want. Okay, so first off, I want to talk about why these individuals have $1,000. I'm sorry, $500,000 cash bond, which means these people are not going to get out. So let's see. Let's see what this is about. Closed caption is on, and I do have to speed it up, my friends. Don't bogart that joint, my friends. Pass it over to me. You guys know that song. I know y'all heard that song. Don't try to say you didn't. Okay, here we go. Let's hear about these scallywags.
Those are just some of the severe injuries that were
discovered. Wait. Skull fractures and something.
And jawbone fractures. Those are just some of the severe injuries that were discovered after a 2-year-old and a 1-year-old were taken to the hospital.
WDRB's Raya Wooten tells us their parents are now in jail. Raya?
You guys, 2 Louisville parents appeared in court this morning to answer to multiple charges of child assault, domestic violence, and child abuse.
Anyone who is abusing or hurting a child, that is absolutely the lowest of the low.
2 children with severe injuries were hospitalized.
50 and 51 Nicholas Shanks.
And their parents, 27-year-old Nicholas Shanks and 25-year-old Shelby Kentz, are now in jail, held on $500,000 full cash bonds and facing criminal child abuse charges.
And I'm sorry, but this is what Remancom thinks about. They need to put these people in a room and do to them what they did to these children. Fracture their skulls and their jawbones. Not that I incite violence over here, because I don't. But these people make me sick. They're cowards. Cowards.
According to court documents, Shanks and Kent's 2-year-old was taken to U of L Hospital Thursday. The child arrived in full cardiac arrest and had to be resuscitated. Police say the parents were the only ones with the child and never called 911. Police records further detail that the child had several injuries, including skull and rib fractures, bruising across the body, missing teeth, and the child was severely underweight. Hospital staff called Louisville Metro Police's Special Victims Unit to make a report.
There's a special place in hell for people like that.
When detectives visited Shanks and Kent's home to check on other children, they found a 1-year-old with severe injuries. 3 possible skull fractures, a jawbone fracture, and blood inside the skull are just some of the baby's reported injuries.
Kid can't protect themselves. So it's imperative for family, friends, medical professionals, teachers, all of them. When they see the signs of abuse, you need to report something.
Emily Valente.
And that's the sad thing, because these kids are too young to even, verbally express what is going on, right? Okay, Deb.
From Norton Children's Pediatric Protection Specialist says child abuse is not uncommon. She says if you suspect child abuse, it's your responsibility to call CPS and make a report.
You don't have to be a teacher. You don't have to be a healthcare provider. Everyone is a mandatory reporter in the state of Kentucky.
Valente.
Everybody's a mandated reporter.
says when children tell you they're being hurt or abused, it's important to believe them and know.
But if you think about it, we're talking about a 1 and 2 year old. A lot of parents who do bad things like that, they keep their children away from other individuals. So it's pretty messed up.
What to look for.
So anytime you're seeing a bruise or potentially a burn that looks like a pattern, that would also be a red flag.
Bruising on various parts of the face, like the jaw, eyelids, and cheeks, can also be signs of child abuse for children ages 4 months and older. Right?
Okay. Hopefully, I don't think they're going to get out of jail. I don't think they're going to get out of jail. $500,000 cash bond is a lot of freaking money. But I will pull that up. We'll do an update on it. Talk about the scallywag parents. Freaking disgusting. Disgusting, I'm telling you. They are cowards. That's like the stepdaddy that ended his own life because he got freaking caught. A 12-year-old boy escaped a house of horrors, cattle prods, being tased, sexual stuff being done to him. And what does stepdaddy do? Stepdaddy goes into the jail and takes his own life. Mom is still sitting in jail, but mom was doing shit with dogs. It's messed up. It is freaking messed up, I tell ya. Disgusting. Disgusting. All right, there is something. I gotta find it. Okay. So, let me find it. Hang on.
What the fuck is this?
Hold on. Hold on, I gotta shut my door. Chad's playing one of these games. I do not think we want to hear what they're talking about for sure. And I am drinking vanilla lavender coffee. Velvety vanilla and a delicate lavender notes. Yes. Girl. All right, Marie. You talking about people changing their name? Ugh. You know I'm not going to call you that. You know I ain't going to call you that name, girl. Okay. It's Starbucks. It was on sale. It was on sale. I got it on sale. And it's not bad. You too, little girl. That's what I'm going to call you, little girl. We'll call you LG for short. And I ain't even going to ask you why you go around with that name. I don't want to know. I don't. I know. Just called me the crazy angel from heaven. Two just called you the crazy one. Why did they call you the crazy one? Are you being a little bit cray-cray? I don't know. I'm just asking. You mentioned it, not me. I love lavender, May. I love me some lavender. It relaxes me. I'm just text talking, but I'll call you the crazy one. No, I won't do that. We'll just call you little girl. I'm good with calling you little girl. Okay, so let me find this. I watch a clip channel and it's called Wasteland. And they put out different stuff about Ernie Shell. And I believe, oh, this is it. Okay. Now, we don't talk about Ernie that much over here. Ernie Shell is Ernie Shell. Now, Ernie has been in wherever the protesters are at, right? He is with the protesters. Now, Mr. Shell has gotten into quite a lot of trouble with the authorities. And you kind of got to feel sorry for him sometimes. It's like, dude. Now, Ernie has a chip in his brain. I don't know how much that's working out for him, being in a state where it's freezing cold outside, like it is in many states right now, right? But anywho, now not to be mean, I don't get a chance to watch Ernie very often. But Ernie is in a little bit of trouble. He's supposed to be going to court in 2 different states. So I believe Ernie's telling us that he's getting ready to go to the pokey. I'm just saying. He's got something in his brain. I don't think it's much. May. Oh, I have Ernie. I got Ernie. I'll show him to you in a minute. Maybe I should make like a little, maybe I should take a box and make it in like a jail cell. And no, he's not, Marie. Are you serious? Is he running again? I don't think he's going to run. I think he's going to turn himself in. I don't know, but we're getting ready to find out. And I'll tell you guys, I don't know who Wasteland is, but they're really good. They're really good. They put out really good videos and stuff. So it's real interesting. Okay, so Ernie's in the city. That is so cute. Okay. Ernie is about to lie to his subs yet again. Ernie, stop that. Stop telling fibs. But the thing is, Ernie will tell you. Ernie will tell you that he doesn't tell the truth. And guess what? People don't believe him. How weird is that? I mean, if someone tells me, hey, I'm a liar, I'm a liar, I'm a liar, I'm a liar, guess what I'm going to think? Anytime they say something, I'm going to be like, are they lying? Right? Now, Ernie's like, I am a liar. And people are like, no, you're not, baby. No, you're not, babe. Oh, Ernie, we love you. We love you, Ernie. Seriously. I am not even joking. I ain't. Now, like I said, I don't really talk about Ernie too much over here. I really don't. But every once in a while, it's pretty good to catch up. Okay. A judge does not have the authority to rescind Ernie's warrants. Ernie, are you telling people that a judge is going to rescind your warrants? I don't think a judge has anything. Oh, wait. Now, a judge can issue like a bench warrant if you don't show up, right? I don't know. I got to Google it. Hold on, we're Googling it. Because I'm a Googler. I'm a trickster. I'm the crypt keeper. And I like to 420 it. Okay. Can a judge rescind, R-E-C-I-N-D, an order, rescind a warrant? Yes. Uh-oh. I'm looking, I Googled it. Yes, a judge can rescind, commonly called recall or squash, an arrest or bench warrant. This action invalidates the warrant, meaning law enforcement can no longer arrest you based on it. This typically requires a formal request from an attorney, often in cases where the warrant was issued in error, the underlying issue is resolved, or the defendant agrees to appear in court. Okay, so basically, well, I guess what he must be trying to say is that the Ernie, you better freaking show up for court, because they're going to get tired of messing with you, sir. I'm just saying. They are going to get tired. He knows this. I do believe some bad news has been delivered. I hope you are taking a long break. Give your approximate 20 diehards wallets a break. Yeah. Well, you know, people who help Ernie, if he does go, you know, to his little jail cell, which I'm sure they got it nice and toasty warm for him, he absolutely, there's people going to send him money on his books, for sure. Lisa K will. Won't you, Lisa? I bet you anything. Lisa K. Not smart being all over, especially when Kid protests out of state. Oh, that's just Ernie CM. It's not weird for Ernie. It's not weird for him. This is what gets me about Ernie, okay? What irks the shit out of me about Ernie Shell is him coming out all the time stating that he's for the children. You know, he's a predator hunter. I've never seen a lot that Ernie has put out that has showed me that he definitely is doing anything to save a child. I'm just saying, that's me. I don't need no Tiggers coming for me. I'm going to give my opinion. For real.
All this for me. Oh, wow. Thank you, guys.
All this for me.
Oh, Lord. Wi-Fi is down. I know. It's everywhere's crazy in it. I want to talk to you a little bit, guys, and then we got things we need to do. A lot of people have been asking me about those certain things, and I feel
Tell
like
us,
right
Ernie.
now, it's the perfect time to do it. It's perfect. I think right now is the best time. There's no other better time to do this. Let's let everybody get in here.
Ernie, where are you going?
We've all had fun. We've all had our laughs. We've all been just grand with each other. But there's the things you don't know about me.
Oh my gosh. What a statement that is. There's some things you don't know about me. Ernie, after 10 years being on social media, 10 years of seeing everything you've done, what is it that we could possibly not know about you, Ernie? I don't know. For real. What do we not know? You know what? That would probably be a very short list, wouldn't it? What do we not know about Ernie Shell? Yeah. Okay.
There's things that I've been offered to do, and I need to do it. I need to take care of it in order to be free.
Be free, Ernie.
A lot of people ask me over and over and over, what you going to do? Where do you see yourself at? And I understand I got things coming up that are going to affect me. Whether in a bad way or a good way, it's going to affect me.
The thing about it is, Ernie, and remain calm, she's giving her opinion, okay? Jackie, it is good to see you, darling. You know, let me say this. I have never seen anyone who has really wished bad things on Ernie. Now, of course, he does shit and he says shit. People get mad at him. You know, they're like, Ernie, shut the fuck up or whatever. But I really have not seen anyone who has really wished harm on Ernie. I really haven't.
I'm gone. Let's take a life. Take a big break. A big break. I'm
Ernie's
doing what
taking a break.
legal people advise me to do. I have to. There comes a time in your life that you have to say, hey, this has to.
But Ernie, if you would have already had that shit taken care of, you would probably be free and clear right now. Okay? But no, I think that you knew that you would be able to make more dollar signs. Well, that doesn't make any sense. You would be able to make more money if you, you know, kept freaking running. Run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the Ernie man. Right?
Happen. But I have a church meeting tonight. And we're going to talk about missing kids in that area.
Ernie. So you're going to go into church and give your testament? Is that what you're saying? They're going to let you come into church and talk about missing kids? And I guess there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, but, and the thing about it is I know a lot of people don't like to hear Ernie talking about trafficking and stuff like that. Ernie's not dumb on the subject. He's really not dumb on the subject. But one of the things also is if with Ernie, when he talks about certain things, you can Google what he's talking about, and exactly what he's saying is what comes up on Google. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. For sure. For sure. For real, for real.
I don't need this drama. I proved to myself that I can go out here. I can still hang with these young cats. I can still do what needs to be done.
I'm telling you guys, I don't know how he does it out there in the cold weather like he is. I mean, sometimes I'm like, dude, what is up with you? What is up with you? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, bring your butts in here. Because it's almost the end of the month, I have 5 more memberships that I am going to throw out there for everybody. Here we go. Who are the lucky recipients? Let's see. Curiosity, German Shepherd Mom, I haven't seen you forever. Mag606 got one. Carmela Green, Little Miss Sharon, Jeannie Sullivan. Hey, whoop whoop. There you go, Mags. Thank you. I know, I'm sorry, LG. It wasn't you. I am sorry. But I did have 10 I could give away within the month. So I threw that 10 out there. I'm just so glad I got my memberships back. That really sucked. That hurt my feelings a lot. It really did. For sure. Remain doesn't love her kid. Oh, little girl, you need to stop it now. Jack, no, Jackie, you shouldn't have been charged for those. They're still there. They're still there, Jackie. They put my memberships on pause. So, no, I shouldn't have lost any of the memberships, Jackie. I can go in and look. Try to look. But either you shouldn't have been charged for them or they were still there. Because I think they did it because I was questioning that too, Jackie. I think they did it. Yeah, it's safe now for sure. For sure. Also, in my description, I put mature audiences only. And I also went back in and checked to make sure that my settings were where they were supposed to be. So, absolutely. Absolutely.
I can get the things I need done fixed. I can get my mouth fixed.
What's wrong with your mouth? What's wrong? What's wrong with Ernie's mouth? Ernie, what's wrong with your mouth? I want to know. I'm being nosy. I want to know. I do. All right. He can get his mouth fixed.
And we can go over things. And I can work with law enforcement again.
Okay. So, but Ernie, now I'm really freaking confused. You said all this time that you have been working with law enforcement. Now you're telling us that you haven't been working with law enforcement. And I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't think that a felon can run for governor. I don't think so. Well, let's Google it. Let's Google it. I'm a Googler. I'm a trickster. I'm the crib keeper. Can a felon run for governor? Governor. Sorry, I'm using one finger. That's why it's taking me so long. State law. Where's he wanting to run for governor at? Kentucky? In Kentucky, a person with a felony conviction can run for governor if their civil rights, specifically the right to hold public office, has been restored. Nonviolent felonies. Jackie. You know you didn't have to do that, but I appreciate that so much. Let's see who we got. Anne Marie, Beloved Ghost. Hey, Beloved Ghost. Oh, it went so fast. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. That's a lot. Okay, hold on. Matt Saki, Paula McComb, and H Girl. Hey, the shit show. Love the shit show. Somebody named Jenny. Somebody named Heather. Somebody named the Navy Wife. Welcome, Navy Wife. T6 Tarek. Suzik. Sister Caligal. Daisy May. Cheryl Bianculli. Keeping It Real. Tripper. What is that? Trisha from Maine. WWTR3. Stassi. I think I've heard your name before. CM got one. No, CM had one. Yes, ma'am, it's safe. Thank you, Jackie, so much. I appreciate that so much. I don't know. To be honest with you guys, I still am not sure what happened, why they did that stuff to me. I think they just wanted to hear me cry. I do. Every once in a while, I think YouTube, they got a little, dark side, and they're like, let's watch her cry, right? Still got Ms. What? What, LG? Oh, it still missed you. I'm sorry. I should have some next month. Maybe it'll get you. Maybe it'll get you, girl. I don't know. I hope everybody's doing okay, though, because I know the weather is horrible outside. I haven't talked to Flies today. I'm not sure what's going on with her. I hope she's okay. And I did talk to Poppy, and my dumbass, I have 2 different numbers for Poppy. I had talked to her. I don't even know what happened. I hope she's okay. I kept trying to call the wrong freaking number. It was weird. You're snowed in too? Yeah, I ain't going nowhere. I know Chad got out and ran down the gas station and, in the truck and stuff, but there is no way that my car is going anywhere. It was bad. Listening to CC and C. Oh, Crystal? Is that who you're talking about? Or are you talking about somebody else, Jackie? Let me say this. I have a soft spot in my heart for Crystal. There's flies. Everyone stay safe and warm. You got the wrong crimes, Lies. Are you talking about her name starts with a B? Well, that could be a lot of people, right? Are you talking about the list? Are you talking about everybody talking about this list? This list right here that law enforcement allegedly, I'll say, took from Ben Hill. I don't mind talking about it. It's kind of an interesting list. But the thing about it is, they put that the address was 120 Ben Hill Road. 120 Ben Hill Road. Let's go into Google Maps. Google Maps. 120. Okay, we know that Dawn and Candace's house is at 110. Let's go 120 Ben Hill Road. Was that the flippin' shed? Was that the address to the shed? And I'm only asking because I can't remember. Here we go. Okay, here's 120. Hold on. 120, 120. Oh, here's the street view on it. Huh. Okay, right there's... Hold on. You'll go out and check again? Kathy, the friend, was on it? Is that who you're talking about? 120 would be Dobbs. The property that Dobbs was trying to buy, that is somebody named Brooks, Jackie. Crime, Lines, and Lies is somebody named Brooks, I believe. Now, I don't know Brooks. I don't. I am gonna leave it there. Jackie, yes, Jody was at 125. Okay. Let's okay, that's Tennessee 347. On the road again. I just can't wait to get on the road again. What is that? Let me see. What road is that? Hold on. Hold on. Oh, shit. I get everything twisted. I am the trickster in the case. Let's pull it up again. Come back. 120 Ben Hill. Okay. There's 120. Huh. Here's Ben Hill. Right? Why is it called 120 Ben Hill when it's on Beach Creek Road? That's weird, right? Yeah, that's Beach Creek Road. Seriously, I put in 120. 120 Ben Hill Road is where that pin is dropping. Here, let's pull up the street view. There's nothing there. All right, they had to have gotten the address mixed up. They had to have gotten the address mixed up. Because there's nothing there. There is nothing there. Okay. 110. That's weird, right? Why would they do that? Okay, so 110's right here. And then they pegged 120 on Beach Creek. So that's weird. Okay. I always thought that it was the yeah, it would have to be the Dobbs property, right? For sure. Hold on. There's 110. 120 would be in this area. We know that Jody's property was 125. So it has to be, yeah, it would have to be Dobbs' property. Stein Eric, I'm just going to say this. I'm sorry, but I do not think that you're a good fit for this channel. And so I'm sorry, you've got to go. And nobody needs to come in here acting like I'm a bitch over the stuff. No. One and done, all that. So figure it out, Stein Eric. I don't know what to say to you anymore. Please leave me alone. Yes, thank you, Stassi, for saying thank you to Jackie. Thank you, Jackie, so much. Odd numbers one side, even numbers the other. Right, Peas? Okay. Hold on. Okay. So, yes, that would have been, but, okay, that's weird, isn't it? How would they have found this stuff at 120? Do you think it was just a mistake? This stuff was allegedly collected on 6/16, which would have been the day after Summer went missing. Okay? Now, you were thinking it was the gray shack? I think it was a mistake too. That's what I thought, Peas, that it was the shed. I thought it was the shed too. Because, hold on, let me see if I can, how am I going to do this? Let's go from 110 Ben Hill to 120. Here we go. Here it is. Two minutes. 2 minutes. Here's Ben Hill. Here's 110. Here's sitting on the hill. So yeah, that would be on. Because the shed's right here, right? Isn't this where the shed's at? Right here? In this area? Because this is where they, that's where they were doing the power lines, right? Right through here. And the shed was right down from where they were doing the power lines. That's still Beach Creek. Yeah, that's Beach Creek. That's pretty wild. But it's showing that the pin is on the side of the road. That Dawn and Candace is on. That's pretty weird, right? 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Okay, so when they came and confiscated the shed wouldn't be 120. Jody is 125. Okay, hold on a minute. Let's see. We'll go from 125 Beach Creek Road. We'll see. Rogersville. Tennessee. 37857. 37857. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we got. Oh, why did it come up to church? That shouldn't have came up like that, right? I wonder why it pulled the church up. That's not what I wanted. Let's get that out of there. 125 Ben Hill Road, Rogersville. Here it is. Okay, there it is. Here it is, you guys. That is 0.3 miles. No, I got that wrong. Because it would be 125 Beach Creek. My bad. Okay, let's change 125. I apologize, you guys. I am weird on shit. It'd be Beach Creek Road. It would still be Rogersville, Tennessee. Still be the same zip. Why does it keep doing that? Hey, Poppy. And 125. Yeah, that's what I had in there before. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Let's take them both out. And I'll redo them. Okay, so we're going to go from 120 Ben Hill Road to 125 Ben Hill. Right there. 120. Okay, so we got 120 Ben Hill Road to 125. Right here is 120 Ben Hill Road. Here's Don and Candace's house at 110. It is on the same side of the street. Am I doing this shit right? No, I've got Ben Hill on both of them now. This is 110, which is right here. This is 120, right there. Show me what's at 120. Wow, Ben Hill goes pretty far back there, y'all. Ben Hill Road, Ben Hill Road. Yep, goes all the way to Simpson Road. So you can take this back road. It comes out. You can go to Simpson Road or keep following Ben Hill. Right? What's that road, I wonder? Yeah, Ben Hill goes way, way, way back there. Wow. I think I followed that before one time. Damn. So that's why people say that you can take these back roads and go to different areas for sure. There's a lot of properties right there. Kind of wild. There's a pond right there. And then it seems to end in Hawkins County. That's kind of wild, isn't it? That's pretty wild. All right, let's get back. Oh, shit. Fire, RC, you dumbass. RC, you dumbass. That's pretty wild. I'm just looking, y'all. I am looking. I'm lost. Damn. Who the hell lives all the way back there? That's fucking wild. I don't think I can. I can't get it. Hold on. The hell is that? Oh, we're in the 3900 block. That's in the middle of BFE, right? Okay, we're getting into... That's kind of wild. Hell, you can't even see the freaking road. Simpson Road. What road is this? I can kind of see the road there. Wow, that's in the middle of nowhere. Give me 1 second, you guys. 1 second. Okay, sorry. Hell, I came back in here with a fork in my hand. All right. Oh, you did, Poppy? Well, I hope everything's okay now. For sure. Okay, so what am I doing here? 120 would be between the Wells and Jody's, not on Beach Creek. Okay, so let's go from 120. Right there's 120. Where do we want to take that to? Because Jody's would be 125. Beach Creek Road, right? Jody's not on Ben Hill. She would be on Beach Creek. Her address, well, there's 125 Ben Hill. Oh, yeah, you're right. Right? Are we looking at this right? Because right here is 125, which would be the property of the Bernards. 120 is over here. So 120 is on Beach Creek, which would be, they just made a mistake. They had to have just made a mistake. Yeah, this can't be accurate. Right? What did you just look up, Barb? Would that be? Yeah, this map is not making sense. Right? How can a map be wrong? Okay, let's do it this way. Hold on. Let's try it another way. Because obviously I don't know what I'm doing. No, this isn't right. Right here is 110. Go down the driveway. What would her address have been then? I think they just made a mistake. That would be 120 Beach Creek, not 120 Ben Hill. I pulled up 120 Ben Hill earlier. Here's Ben Hill. Right here, where the red pin is. That is where they're saying 120 Ben Hill is. I don't understand that because did there used to be a house there or something? No, it would still be Beach Creek. It would not be Ben Hill. It would be Beach Creek. Right? For some reason in my mind, I keep thinking that when we pulled that up years ago, for some reason, I thought it was around the shed area. Because the shed had its own address. Your map shows the brown shack at 120. Okay. Let's see. Hold on.
I'm getting flashbacks.
No, it's coming up Beach Creek. Still coming up Beach Creek. Okay, is this the area? No. That's fucking weird. Okay, you're seeing this then, Barb. You're seeing this shack right here then, right? Let me do a street view real quick. This is what you're seeing. This is what you're seeing, right, Barb? Okay. That's 4102. Okay, let's get back to where I was. Okay, hold on. Where the fuck am I at now? I would get lost. I definitely would get lost. There's Simpson Loop. And here, that's the brown shack right there. We'll take it to street view. Okay, that is, let me say this right now. That is not the shed at the end of the Wells's property. I remember Pam Wells owned some property. I don't know which property it was, though. Okay, what street is that, I wonder? Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I don't think it's going to show me what street it is. I think law enforcement, I think law enforcement just made a mistake, to be honest. I think the properties were rezoned or something after Karen passed because she lived at 120, not 110. Thank you, Discovering. I was on Ben Hill. I was on Ben Hill Road. Here is 120 Ben Hill. Right there. They're saying that this is 120 Ben Hill. Even though it looks like it's on Beach Creek. And right here, 125 would have been the property of, okay, well, I'm putting it in right, so I don't know why it's coming out like that. But yes, the, if that was part of Ben Hill, it would be lower than 110, not higher. Yeah, Peas, I heard something about that, right? Okay, well, I'm not sure why. I think the only way that this map can be wrong is if somebody went in and edited it, because you can suggest an edit, right? Right here. You can suggest an edit. So I don't know why, I don't know why the heck it's showing that then. Not at all. So the only thing that I remember is I thought it had to do with the freaking shed. Right? I don't know, Barb. Hey, 120. Yeah, usually it's odd numbers and even numbers. One side of the street would be odd numbers, the other side even numbers. So I don't understand that either. Because that's what it kind of seems like, that maybe somebody went in and edited the map. I don't, other than that, I don't freaking know. But anywho, they said 120, right? If you look up Karen Gold's address, it never says she lived at 110, but shows she lived at 120. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I thought, 120. Okay. So in 2021, whoever filled out this paperwork put 120 Ben Hill Road. And it doesn't matter if you put in Beach Creek or Ben Hill, the pin is the same. Right? So, anywho, this is a list of things that they took. Now, I think that the only reason people are even going back over this is because, I mean, we all know, and we are all in our minds. I mean, I kind of know it's a quilted bag containing picnic items and a blanket. It's not an actual picnic basket. It's, they say, a quilted bag. Right? So they're not saying we took a picnic basket. They're saying we took a quilted bag that contained picnic items, a blanket, a Cowboys bag, an Old Navy cut jeans, size 14. What else? Okay. Hey, you guys don't have to apologize to me because I am just as confused as everybody else, okay? Okay. So, yes, not a picnic basket. It was a quilted bag, they said. So it had jeans size 14, right? T-shirt, what the fuck is a one cat and Jack Velcro tennis shoe, size 11. They also took an Apple iPod or iPad, a laptop, 2 different laptops. Now, I think why all this is coming out again, a Target brand. That whole thing is lies just for content, not for you, but the originals. Well, I always kind of wondered, I don't know, I think the thing that everybody's up in arms about is the fact that a lot of people believe that Candace and Dawn did not turn in all their devices when Summer went missing. A lot of people believe that. And that's Candace's own fault, because let me tell you, Candace is the one who told Chris McDonough that she had a phone that had TikToks that Hunter had made, and she could prove that Hunter made TikToks. And Chris was like, "Did you turn that in?" She's like, "No, I'll turn it in next Tuesday or Thursday," some shit, right? Now, they also kept saying something about a camera. Now, because Don Wells is a weird fuck, in my opinion, of course, when he starts talking about a camera, we are, in our minds, made to think of perverted shit because he's a fucking pervert, and he talked about all this perverted shit about his daughter, which made us believe that there was perverted shit on that camera. Bottom line. So, but this fucking map is driving me crazy. Let's try, hold on. Let's try this. Beach Creek. Oh. Yeah, the only thing I can figure is that somebody fucking edited the map. Rogersville. Okay, so wait. I put in 120 Beach Creek, and this is what I'm getting. There's Solomon's Temple. There's Crawford Cemetery. Well, that don't make any sense. What? Flies, look at this. So I put in 120 Beach Creek Road. Oh, wait. That's what? There's Light Cemetery. There's Crawford Cemetery. Solomon's Temple Cemetery. Beach Creek Road turns into Lone Star Road. There's Light Hollow Road. Okay, hold on. That's fucking weird. Hang on. Why would it pin right there? Why would it fucking pin right there? Is that a house? I don't know if it's going to let me get on. That's fucking weird. What is that? What? Beach Creek Road. It's kind of fucking weird. I don't think it's gonna let me go back in there. No, it ain't gonna let me go back in there. What the fuck is that? Why is it taking me to that? That's kind of fucking weird. Truth be known, he probably put a tracker on that phone so he would know every move. Well, I mean, I think Candace got rid of that phone. What do you mean, Marie? Being nosy about what? I think a lot of people wanted to know exactly, you know, everybody has been nosy one way or another in Summer's case, for sure. But I guess I have a question for everybody. If Ernie Shell gave you a phone and you were talking to him and he was like, guess how I know where you're at, right? Wouldn't you throw it? I would have ran it over about 50 fucking times. I can tell you that, right? For sure. I would have ran it over. But I do believe that, yeah, this just doesn't make any sense. Because okay, hold on. So that's 120 Beach Creek Road, but it shows up Kingsport for some reason. Let me here, I'll pull it up on a different one. Okay, let's go to 120 Ben Hill Road, Rogersville. All right. So this is where it's showing up. Is that different, Flies, than the one I showed before? What is that? What is that? How come I can't? Oh, that's 125, it says. How come it said 125 when I put in 120? Let's see. 120. Then it clicks over there. Yeah, somebody's messing with the pins on the fucking shit. Oh, I don't know, Peas. I mean, like I said, I wouldn't have took a phone from Ernie to start with. Probably put it on a train and let him... Oh, the phone. Ernie and the phone. I mean, this is just my opinion. I think that, you know, truthfully, the men who got involved with Candace while Don was in jail, there was more than one or two of them. I truly think that they honestly wanted Candace to say something to them about Don, and, you know, I truly think many individuals were sitting back hoping that something would go down, this is just my opinion, that would put Don Wells in jail. Now, do I think that Don and Candace both are clear of whatever happened? Absolutely not. They are still suspects. They are all still persons of interest, right? Yeah, I mean, P, she had to have somebody take care of her. She had to have somebody take care of her. She wasn't taking care of herself. Not at all. So yeah, somebody's had to have been messing with the map and pins and stuff. Is the only thing I can figure. Because that's what I'm getting right there. When I put in 120 Ben Hill Road, that's what comes up right there. If you go over and you put in 120 Beach Creek Road, you got to be careful because that shows up. Hell, you've got 120 Beach Creek Road, Kentucky, West Virginia, Alabama, Georgia, Kingsport, Tennessee, Rogersville. Okay, here's 120 Rogersville. Let's put the layers up here. Hold on. Let's see. And that goes to... Nope, it's still showing up. Why would it fucking show up Kingsport? That's fucking weird. All right, I'll have to check that shit out and see what's going on with that. For sure. For sure, for sure. I mean, because I just don't get it. Why would that show up? That just doesn't make any sense. Because from the beginning, I remember years back when everybody checked the address and stuff, I thought it came to what they called the shed at the bottom of the hill. Was pretty sure about that. I mean, if you go back and look, there was some property that Don's ex-wife, Pam Wells, owned. It was all fucking weird. All weird. I always wondered, too, how many times that Pam Wells actually seen Summer personally enough to where Summer allegedly called her grandma, right? Freaking weird ass shit. It's all weird. But basically, supposedly Candace sent this list, I think, to Benny or somebody. I don't remember. But that's the list, and I don't know. I don't know. All right, I'm going to finish Ernie real quick. I'm not going to keep you guys on here all night. Ernie says that things are going to work out for him. He's going to be able to start working with law enforcement again, which he's told us that he was working with law enforcement the whole time.
Helping with missing kids, because that's what I'm good at.
Ernie, I really want to see where you've been working with missing kids. Show me a case of a missing child that you worked that didn't end up being a shit show for real.
I figured that's the best way to do it. The best way to take care of everything. Not only has the church agreed to stand for me in my upcoming legal battles, and the community around that church. See, this is what God.
What church is he talking about? So somewhere there's a church that's standing behind Ernie. And if that's true, then God bless them. They're going to have their hands full. But I don't know. Did he ever have the interview with the wrestler guy? Oh, hey, Viper, the Church of Eternal Soul Sacrifices. Oh, is that a real church? Is that a real freaking church? Okay, Jenny. Thank you again, Jenny, for coming and hanging out. For real. I am so glad you and Jackie come over, and I love Jackie. I do. And Mustang Granny pops in every once in a while. It means a lot to me that you guys come over and show me some love. Means a lot. Scary if a church is really helping Ernie. It never ends well. I don't know. Is it a godly church or is it a satanic church? Hello, Angelo.
Hello, RC. How are you?
I am good. How are you doing?
I'm blessed. I woke 6 feet above ground instead of under, so
that
can't go wrong. Yes. So this is just another fabrication of his. There's no church doing this. It's the same church that was allegedly buying him a minivan, but then when he got to Minneapolis, he was buying a $7,700 Dodge Challenger, which also turned out to be false. You know. Although he did come through with Bagwell, though. I'll give him that.
Well, I was watching little clips and stuff, and I seen where he was, hanging out where the protesters were, but it seems like he was kind of just going around and pilfering through their stuff and taking hand warmers and different things, and then kind of booking and going back to his hotel or motel, wherever he was staying.
Yeah, he was there too. I mean, he did talk to a couple of people, but there were also people there that were aware of his presence and were filming him as well. They were there simply to find him and film him.
I noticed that. I was like, dang, somebody's got their eye on you now, Ernie. How's it feel?
Yeah. And one of them confronted him, and Ernie was all, flabbergasted until he walked away. When he walked away, he was talking about how he could kick the guy's ass and do this and that. Here's the thing. When you're in the middle of a protest and a protester is getting attacked by some random person that's never been seen there before, that person's going to get trounced.
Exactly. I mean, I'm amazed that he hasn't literally been thrown off a bus while it's doing 70 mile an hour down the interstate, to be honest. I mean, who gets on a bus and takes their phone and records people they don't know? Besides Ernie. Nobody that I know of.
Only psychos do that. That's right. Somebody mentioned he had a blue Honda Odyssey 2024 minivan that was being given to him by the church that he did not use to drive to Minnesota. Instead, he hopped on a Greyhound, and we all know why he takes the Greyhound. You don't need an ID for the Greyhound, but we all know why he uses it.
Well, let me ask you this: what church just willingly gives someone, money and even a vehicle that doesn't know the person that well?
It's called the Church of Ernie Shell.
Right. Yeah, because I would not think that somebody can just go to any state, walk in any church and say, hey, I'm a predator hunter, and them say, oh, let me give you a vehicle. Oh, let us give you a few $100s to go you know, usually if that happens, it's people who's definitely associated with the church prior. I just don't see that, but
Right. And not a church out of the blue that he suddenly because again, he uses religion and faith in God's word as cannon fodder. Like it's just it's another tool for him to grift off of people. It's not something he actually feels, because it's my belief that he actually has the inability to feel anything.
right.
I think
agree.
he
I
has-
mean,
he has a love for money. That's about it.
My frustration is when he, you know, uses missing children and stuff. That's where I'm like, you know, I get a little offended by him doing that, honestly.
It's not just that though, RC. It's not just the missing children thing. It's the fact that he's gotten on these platform and threatened to slit women's throats. He's gotten on this platform and has made jokes about other people's children. He's gotten on this platform and made light and jokes and jabbed at people's traumas, having been sexually traumatized as children. That is not a leader. That is not a predator hunter. That is not a good person. That is through and through the very definition of evil. The one thing that he has that's a good characteristic, but works against everything that's normal, is the fact that he is a chameleon that can blend in and seem normal.
That's scary to me.
Yeah, that's the very definition of some of the greatest serial killers in our time.
Absolutely.
Have that same capabilities. So when I come out here and I'm like, he's dangerous, I'm not saying it because I dislike Ernie or I dislike his behaviors. I'm saying it based on a guy that's been in counterintelligence, a guy that's been in the military, a guy that's dealt with predators from a firsthand experience.
Right.
I'm speaking from three perspectives that paint for me a different picture of Ernie than, oh, he's just talk, or he's a coward, or he's this. Yeah, he is many things. He is those things. But there's still that one opportunity. I don't live on what ifs. If somebody threatens to harm my family, coward or not, I'm going to make sure that I have the appropriate steps taken to end the existence of the person making those threats.
Absolutely, because, and what even makes it scarier is, you know, people come, this is what really irks the shit out of me. People will come on social media and they'll threaten other people and they'll do this and they'll do that. And people are like, oh, don't worry about it. You know, they live in another state. They're just running their mouth or whatever. And I have insistently tried to tell people, I personally have been stalked. And I've been stalked in my real life by someone who has come out on social media that people have seen, heard them talk and everything. And I'm like, this is my real life. So you have to understand, being stalked on social media and real life by the same person, it is not cool. It could be detrimental to someone in real life to have to be dealing with somebody like that. Ernie has the capabilities of getting on a bus and going anywhere he wants to go.
Yes, because he can blend in. Who is it? Who said that? Peas in the pod. He wears equipment to hide his identity because he knows that there's cameras out there that have facial recognition. He doesn't want to be recognized. He claims he wants to be famous, but not really, because getting famous while you're a felon on the run from a warrant and while you're avoiding a court in Arkansas doesn't really help your cause.
Exactly.
It's gonna get you arrested.
Exactly.
But he's just the face of it. He's the concern I have is not just Ernie. It's the people that Ernie can influence. And make no mistake, people say he's dumb, he's this, he's that. He's not dumb. He's far from dumb.
No, he's not dumb.
He knows what he's doing. And he knows how to influence people. And the people that he's influencing are people that are like him. They're fragile. They're emotionally broken. They have either survived a trauma or are part of a trauma, an ongoing trauma. They're typically single. They're not with somebody. And they're people that are easily manipulated. Those people should be concerning as well, because those are the people that are willing to do anything. I've seen the way cults work. I've seen, the Koresh syndrome. I've seen, Heaven's Gate people. I've seen what radicalized leaders can do to a group and a following. That's the overall picture that I see. I don't see just Ernie Shell sitting up here going, I'm a predator hunter and I'm going to solve all these cases. That's not what I see. I see a potential either a serial killer in the making or somebody who wants to be a serial killer. I see somebody who wants to be famous at all costs, even if he has to sacrifice his own family, he's willing to do that to be famous. And fame, whether it's good or bad, is fame to him. He doesn't care which way it comes. So if he goes down in a blaze of glory because he shows up at somebody's house that he's threatened to murder, and they end his life, for him, that's famous. He goes out famous.
Well, let me ask you this, because I've not had a real chance to really have a conversation with you. I know you come up one time, and I think we talked about some previous things you had been through in your life, but what do you think about, oh shit, what was I going to ask you? My mind just went blank. I hate when that happens. Oh, what do you think about what we've pretty much seen ourselves with, his brother's in prison for, the murder of a guy, and or he pled to being a participant, basically. What I mean, I'm telling you, when I covered that trial, all I seen was Ernie. It was hard for me to maybe because Shelby's, even though he's been a little bit public on social media because of some creators or whatever, but that trial and listening to Ernie testify, in my mind, I cannot fathom why he wasn't ever kind of put in that realm of along with his brother. I couldn't understand that. I just couldn't.
Well, I'm gonna say this on a couple of different points, I guess. So I do believe Shelby's where he belongs. I don't believe he acted alone. I don't believe he acted alone. I believe Shelby believes more in family than Ernie does. And
I agree.
That could be why Ernie is not implicated in said act. Because I believe Shelby holds the tenets of what family is more than Ernie does.
I agree with you there, only because, Shelby himself has come out and talked about how much he loves his brother. And so then you got to kind of think, well, would Shelby go to prison to save his brother from actually going to prison?
Based on what I've heard and based on Lisa and her interviews with him and her talk, I believe he would.
Yeah, that's the way it seemed to me too, that, Shelby would take a lot of the fall for Ernie to keep Ernie out of prison. So,
well, listen to how he describes himself too. He calls himself the killer inside. Okay, what does that mean exactly? What is that? How does the killer inside correlate with bail bondsman, bounty hunting, and child abduction? Like, explain that to me. I don't get how those correlate with each other. So are you saying something that you've been a part of, that you give yourself a nickname, call it the killer? Is it because you have HIV that you call yourself the killer inside? I don't know why he calls himself that. I don't even know why he calls himself a tiger. Like, I don't get that either. I make fun of it. I think it's funny. I think it's a joke. But like, he says and does things that don't correspond with the path that he claims he's on. If you're about rescuing children, you would never, ever use a child's trauma against them.
Right. And the killer inside, you know, it's I just looked it up. The suppressed, sociopathic, and violent nature hidden beneath a calm or charming exterior.
Yes. And you know who else had that? John Wayne Gacy.
Let me say this. I'll never forget one of the stories that he told that specifically, I mean, he's told a lot of stories about himself, but the one that caught my attention that I knew, to me, I was like, okay, this is the type of person you are, is when he talked about a young lady being in a motel room, and I can't remember exactly what he did, but he left that girl in there and went out and told his buddies or something, you go in there and do whatever you want to do or some shit. And I was like, that right there told me exactly what type of person he was.
And he's off and on again with the whole protecting of women. He only wants to protect women when the women are enamoring him and supporting him and telling him how great he is. Okay, and it's another cult material. You know, it's another cult mentality. When you want these people, he almost feels like he wants to be worshipped. He wants to be believed to be a prophet of God, that God chose him and God saved him. And as a guy that writes a lot of gospel music myself, and I also offer, you know, a lot of prayers for people, and I tell people they need to pray. I'm also not blindsided by the fact that God empowers us as individuals to answer our own prayers through our ability to gain knowledge and our ability to grow as human beings. That's one of the great rewards we get as being creatures of God. I don't know if you guys are religious or not, but I just want to put that out there. So his opportunity to grow as a person and to be more spiritual definitely existed with the accidents that he's had, especially the last one in Arkansas. And
so he's still supposed to be going to Arkansas for court.
Yes, he's tried to change the date with lies and deception. And they've failed. They've been denied. The first one was approved. The rest have been denied. He needs to appear.
Well, I don't think they're going to mess with him anymore. I know that, you know, for the things that he's wanted for so far, he's kind of been lucky because they just haven't wanted to spend the money to extradite him every time he's gotten caught. But I had to kind of question that because this last time he left the hospital and ran. So were they going to basically come back and take him from the hospital to the jail? Or what is that what he was concerned about?
When he was in Arkansas?
Yeah.
Yes. I forget which office it was, but there was a U.S. Marshal office in Kentucky that was coming to extradite him. And they're also there to ask some questions about something else. I don't know what that. They're not going to give me details. They wanted to know where he was. I gave the location. But by the time he got there, he had checked out under against medical orders.
Well, I'm surprised because remember he had 2 broken legs, a broken back, 10 broken ribs.
Nine broken ribs. Bigfoot was still chasing him. What's in Arkansas, Marie? In Arkansas are 6 new charges. Operating a vehicle in unsafe conditions, 90 miles an hour, smashing into a tree, trying to avoid police by running from them, fighting the police, fighting the rescue team, and apparently under the influence of something which has not been released.
Well, that's one thing that's pretty frightening in itself to, you know, think of him doing substances and already the way he is, and he does things like that. And I mean, every once in a while, it's like, it just seems like Ernie is his own worst enemy.
Yes.
And
I want to touch on that in a minute. Ernie is his own worst enemy. When you're sending in a request to the court to change your court dates, claiming that your mother's dying and you need to be the responsible.
Oh, I heard about that.
And you need to be responsible adult care. But then there's a video of you threatening to slit Tina's throat.
Right.
Those two things don't go hand in hand. So I enjoy the fact that he does the videos. I enjoy him talking. And I enjoy the DGen that covers him and Cinnamon that covers him and anybody else that covers him, because it gives me videos to send.
Right.
And I will freely admit that to the district attorney to show that the requests he's making don't correlate to the actions that he's taking.
Right.
Here's his, he's not in Kentucky because he's wanted in Kentucky.
Well, that's
and he knows he's wanted.
So where's he actually getting ready? So is he getting ready to go to court in Arkansas or Kentucky first?
Probably Arkansas. I don't believe he's ready to face Kentucky because he's got, yeah, it's absconding from probation, but they also have evidence of him lying under oath to a judge. They also have evidence of him lying for his license to get veteran status. They also have Tennessee's doing an investigation on his fraudulent license for his bail bonds because he claimed on a affidavit that he had no felonies. So there's a bunch of fraud there. And he knows that that's all catching up on him. And he knows I'm only reporting things that I can prove beyond a doubt that he did. I don't make false calls.
Yeah, I've never seen anything that you've ever put out that hasn't been, absolutely correct. I've never seen you put out anything that hasn't been correct for sure.
Just like I know for a fact that he hasn't talked to anybody in Kentucky from Madison County because they will not talk to him. They've already stated that 100%. They will not talk to him until he has been arrested. They will not talk. They will not discuss. They will not compromise. They will not give offers. They will do nothing of the sort. He is absconded from probation until he's arrested. Then and only then will they discuss with him.
Well, what is he talking about now? I did Google about.
He said the judge is going to rescind his warrant.
Right.
And that Madison County is going to let him have a meeting with his church before they arrest him. None of that is true.
That doesn't make any sense to me either, at all. Now it does say that a judge can rescind a warrant, but I think that's just like a minor bench warrant, maybe. To maybe take that charge off or something. But I wouldn't know how that would work with him.
They can't rescind the warrant until he's before them, though. They're not going to rescind it unless some sort of reprehense has been made. But no reprehense can be made until he's arrested.
Well, yeah, because let me tell you, I don't care what anybody think. A judge is not stupid. They're not going to do anything till they have that person in front of them, to answer to whatever they're needing to be answered for. I don't think a judge would, say, oh, screw my credibility as a judge. Let's just go through and drop all these warrants on these people.
You also have to take into account the judge is going to know that he absconded from his first one, too.
Exactly.
And went on almost a 2-year run. So we're talking about the second time doing the same thing. So,
well,
yeah,
and he
knows he's getting bail time.
And this is what I've always said too. This is just kind of common sense. This is just the way I feel. People were encouraging him to run and stay on the run. People were giving him donations, if you want to call it, for him to not do the right thing and turn himself in. The last time he went to jail is when they basically were chasing him from place to place to place, and he finally ended up getting caught. He didn't turn himself in. He got caught, right?
He got caught from his phone. And Marie, no, technically Ernie is not homeless. There is a very nice room waiting for him in Madison where he will get 3 meals a day, plenty of people to talk to and LARP with. Religion and medical and all sorts of wonderful things. It's called prison.
I'm going to say this last time he went to jail, he got healthy. He looked really good. And I don't know how he even survived before he went to jail. He was looking horrible, horrible. And, you know, we all know about his, you know, his medical status and stuff. And, you know, I just don't understand why he just don't go get it done and taken care of. The problem is when he's already in trouble for something in one state that he is running from the courts, he turns around and does stupid shit in another state. This last accident he had, yeah, that was pretty wild. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, I agree with you to a point, Flies, but again, he did make a threat to my family, and so long as he doesn't show up, he has nothing to worry about. I do want him to turn himself in, take accountability, and do his time and become a better person. But if he shows up on my property, I'm going to do what I need to do.
Absolutely. I don't blame you. I agree 1,000%. 1,000%.
And I personally believe that's where he wants to go. I don't know if he necessarily wants it to be me that does it, but I believe he wants to go out in a blaze of glory.
In a blaze, yes.
Because that for him is famous.
Well, he even said in that video I was just showing that Wasteland did, he even says something about that you may not hear about it unless the news does it. Did you catch that? Okay, hold on.
Yes, I definitely caught that.
Yes, because he said in this right here from Wasteland, he absolutely says that, you know, you won't hear about it unless the news talks about it or something, him getting caught or something. It was strange that he said that. That was really strange that he said that. So I don't know. I hope, oh, thank you, Paula. I really hope that nobody gets hurt, though. You know, I really hope that nobody ends up getting hurt. And I know,
for the record, I definitely don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to.
Right.
But I mean, I'm a soldier first and a husband and a man of God. So like, I'm trained to do what I need to do if the situation arises.
Well, I mean, let me say this. I was in the military too. I don't go around talking about it. You know, in my heart, even though I was in the military, it was back in like 1985. I never saw any wartime situation. My heart goes to the soldiers who have been put in those situations. To me, they're my heroes, right? So me being in, I don't really talk about it. It's not that big of a deal to me. I was in supplies and whatever, and traveled out of the country, went to Germany with my husband who was military at the time. So, I mean, from high school on, I was around, you know, military situations, married to, you know, an individual in the military, whatever. And I just, you know, for when I found out that he was faking, you know, being a service member, I know a lot of people got really angry about it. I can absolutely understand that. You know, the last thing anybody should do is act like that they are military when they're not military. Okay. So, you know, Ernie should have never done that, but he doubled and tripled down. Angelo dropped off. He doubled and tripled down on that. He should have never done that. And the thing about it is, Ernie will tell a lie and he will know it's a lie. Everybody else will know it's a lie and he'll triple down on it. And thank you, Barb. What really pissed me off is when he said he had cancer, because my husband passed away from cancer a few years back. And that really freaking bothered me too. I'm like, you know, who does that?
Also, keep in mind, even after what Deb proved, He still did not admit HIV until after his police intake form was released.
Exactly. Yeah.
He was denying it up until that point, just like his RH no blood, like his intake lists him at AB negative. Like, what are we doing here? Like,
well, I just heard him recently say something to somebody about his HIV status, and I don't know if he was trying to say that he I don't know. I can't remember. It was something along the lines of that he didn't have it to where other people could get it or something. I can't remember what he was saying.
As long as you're taking your medication and you're coming up undetectable, I don't believe it's transferable. But I'm not positive on that, so don't quote me because I don't do a lot of studying on HIV or AIDS.
I would think that it would be transferable because you have it in your blood, right?
I don't think it is if it's not detectable, if it's dormant.
That's kind of weird. I don't know.
Let me ask Google.
Yeah, Google it. I'm a
Is
big Googler
HIV
over
transmittable if you are undetectable? A person living with HIV.
A person living with HIV who is on treatment and maintains an undetectable viral load has zero risk of transmitting HIV to their sexual partners.
There you go. From the Institute of Health. That's from the CDC. So I believe
interesting.
Yeah, but again, that's if you're taking your medicines on the regimen that you're supposed to be taking. That is if you're doing your blood work every 3 months like you're supposed to be, to even understand if your levels are undetectable. Like you have to have being on the run from the law, living donation to donation, being on the street, lowering your immunity levels, getting sick. All of those things make you susceptible to HIV becoming active.
Right.
Even with taking your medication. So the way he's living is not it doesn't correlate.
It's not conducive, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, to what he's saying. I mean, to me it's just because at one point that had to have been different, right? He wasn't taking his meds. He got really sick. I think he even got jaundice, didn't he? Hep C or something. And I mean, look, if the guy is not out here sleeping with a bunch of people, which when he got really sick, I hope he wasn't. But
he claimed he was. And see, there's another caveat. He claimed he was having threesomes in hotel rooms with women.
Yeah.
He claimed he didn't tell them he had HIV until he was about to stick it in. Like,
yeah,
like they're probably lies, of course, but still, the average citizen has an obligation to report something like that.
Well, yeah, because even if he's in a position where it's people aren't susceptible to it that he's sleeping with, it would still be a obligation to let people know that, yeah, you do have this disease. I would think anyway. Now, I know that there are instances where people actually can be charged for like attempted murder or something, isn't it? If they have HIV or AIDS and they don't tell someone that they're sleeping with.
And that's why I think the marshals wanted to talk to him. I think it has something to do. I don't want to speak for anybody. I think it has something to do with some of the reports that they were getting based on his own words and his videos stating that he was having sex with people and not telling them that he had HIV. He said it on video. That is a crime. Whether you're undetectable or not, if you have HIV, you have to state that you have HIV with your partner. Otherwise, it is a crime.
Well, and this is my thing too, and don't get me wrong, I am not saying anything about any woman or man or anybody that's, felt bad for Ernie and let him come to their home or anything else. Me personally, I don't understand that. I would never meet someone on social media and just because I see them on YouTube or, talk to them in chats and different things like that, maybe talk to them a couple times on the phone, it would be very hard for me to let someone come into my personal space like that, especially if you got kids or grandkids or anything like that. And it's sad because some individuals they just don't think about that. And like you said, it seems like Ernie, he gets these individuals that he knows they're lonely. They get a check every month. They may not have any other family. They may not, their family may not live around them and different things like that. And if people don't know that Ernie doesn't have that in his mind, I don't know what to tell them. I've seen it. I've seen it and it's scary. It is very scary. I can guarantee you if somebody come knocking on my door, my children would probably slap the shit out of me.
And that's why I get that's why that's why I don't go after Ernie like I used to, because I do get emotionally charged with it, because everything he does reminds me of the very people that did things to me when I was that 10-year-old, 9-year-old, 8-year-old boy. And that scares I'm not afraid to say that scares the hell out of me. It scares the hell out of me to think that there's predators like this that exist in this world that can get through life and evade justice as easily as he does.
Well, and also you have to look too. Ernie, I mean, just his personality, I could see him being on the streets, per se, homeless, like he says. Unfortunately, we have young children in our world that are homeless in some of these states that predators absolutely know exactly what to say, how to get them to follow them somewhere. And Ernie says that, when he was younger, that he was put into trafficking situations. Now, if that's true, I don't know. I don't personally know Ernie, as in the story of his life. I know what he's tried to tell a lot of us, but it just seems like when I hear him talking about some of those things, you have to be able to look at a person like that, and basically, to me, what he's telling me is he knows exactly what can be said, exactly what can be done, exactly where to go look for these situations. I mean, when he played that little getting the kids out of the tunnel shit, remember that? I saved these kids from the tunnels. Well, my question was, which me personally, did not think that's what really happened. But my question was, how did you know to go in those tunnels? How did you know exactly where those tunnels were to allegedly go in that tunnel to save that child?
Do you remember a TV show years ago called The Pretender?
Yes.
Well, imagine that guy Jared, I think was his name. Imagine Jared was a bad person, but with the same skill set. That's Ernie. Ernie can become, because he's a catalyst for observation. He observes things. He absorbs information. He doesn't always get all the information right, but he gets enough of it to become that which he's telling.
Right.
That story that he's telling, that savior of children from caves, that bail bondsman bounty hunter that brought in all these criminals with Dog the Bounty Hunter. Like, all he knows enough to hum it along, and damaged people who are damaged emotionally gravitate to that because they see him as the hero. Even with boundless amounts of documentation and information to prove otherwise, a small group of people will still gravitate to that because they need to believe in something. Like he said one time, almost all victims become predators. No, even statistically, that's untrue.
No.
It's less than 3% of the victims become predators, and those people, in my opinion, are worse because you know better. You know what you lived, and now you're putting other people.
Because I mean, you would think I know what I went through in my life was really, really messed up, and throughout my life, the last thing I ever wanted to do, the last thing that ever came to my mind was doing things to people that I had done to me throughout my life. That never crossed my mind to be that type of person because I know what happened to me. I know the things that happened to me. I would never ever wish that to happen to anybody. And I mean, but you're right. I mean, some people that say they had things done to them and stuff like that, they automatically do what was done to them, and they are good at it because they had it done to them.
Very good.
So,
very good.
you know.
And Flies can tell you, I wrote a song, someone about this. It's about love. Love shouldn't hurt. If love hurts, then you're in the wrong relationship.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's a husband and wife love or a friend love or a sibling love. If it's hurting you and it doesn't heal you, you're in the wrong relationship. And he does that to his mods all the time. He specifically puts them at odds with people so that he can look like the victim, so that they'll defend him. And then he chastises them occasionally. That's why he secludes them into these little private chat groups like Night Watch and Investigation Group. And this, he does that to separate them and then creates conflict internally. It like, if you've listened to some of his former supporters and the way they talk, they were secluded and kept away.
Mm-hmm.
Like I provided written evidence of the crimes that he's done and the stolen valor, and people still didn't believe it. Like,
yeah,
there's
and
nothing you could do after that.
Right, and that's what always got me too, because I said this to Ernie in front of Ernie one time. Hang on, my son's knocking on the door.
We interrupt this program for a commercial break.
Sorry,
Are you having receding hairlines?
That's what always got me because, and like I said this to Ernie on a panel. I don't go on people's panels very often. I was on a panel, I can't remember. Maybe it was Sarah, the artsy ninja or something. And Ernie was up there and Lisa Kay was up there. And, you know, I said to her, Ernie is an admitted liar. Ernie will look at people and tell them he's a liar. And they won't believe that he's a liar when he sits and tells them he's a liar. I'm like, what in the world?
You know what makes that whole thing ironic? The fact that he is a liar is that when he claims people are lying on him, he gets mad.
Right.
Like, what are you talking about? You claim it's okay to lie. You have claimed it's okay to lie. Now, I've not lied on him. Everything I say about him is 100% true, backed up by his own videos.
Right.
But there are people that have made up things about him that give him that ability to squirm out of shit.
Right.
When if you just stick to the facts, that's all you got to do. That irritates him enough. Like,
well, this is what gets me too, because I mean, obviously, when you look at him and it just seems to me that if he were to take his knowledge, you know, with I'll say like social media or whatever, I think that he would be successful without doing the shit that he does. I think if he really put his mind to something, he could be really successful at it. But I think, like I said earlier, he's his own worst enemy. He's just his own worst enemy.
He wants fame over the work it takes to get to it. And you don't have to be famous to do something with your life that's beneficial to yourself and to others. To sit there and talk about HIV would be very educational. It won't make you famous per se, but it'll definitely make you successful. Like, and he definitely has knowledge when it comes to child exploitation. Whether he got it from Google or whether he got it from Classroom, I could care less.
Right.
All of those things are beneficial to society as a whole, to making parents aware of things that are going on around them, making sure that you're monitoring your child's social media, making sure you're meeting your child's friends, making sure that you're checking in with your children, making sure that you're letting your children know it's okay to talk to you.
Angelo, seriously, where the fuck has he really given, you know, he talks about let's do the general awareness classes. I've never seen, and well, I really don't watch Ernie that much, but
depends on how you claim his classes are. He'll sit there one day, he'll do a bunch of bullshit and hurt a bunch of people and be like, all right, does everybody see what I did there? Night watch? Do you see what I did there? Do you see that?
Yeah.
Like, that's not a class. That's you being an asshole hurting people.
Right.
That's not a class.
Right.
Hurting people doesn't need a class. It's the easiest thing to do. The hardest thing to do as a man or a woman is to show compassion and love for people, even if you don't like them.
Right. I think he tends to love. I think he tends to love more the people who tend to give him money and stuff like that. He really got me. Now, I don't know a lot of these people. I remember there was a female, I believe, he got upset with, and he was like, said something about, oh yeah, just because you want to send me $20 or $30 here and there doesn't mean that I'm gonna be nice to you or whatever. And I'm like, that is really fucked up of you to do. You know, if somebody's handing you money, show them fucking respect. But
that's who he doesn't know what that is. He has no clue what respect is. He has no clue what it is to respect your family. He has no clue what it is. He has no clue what a friend is, because he doesn't see friends. He sees opportunities. Opportunities to use people, opportunities to gain something from them. He's never had to sacrifice for a friend, and he never will until he changes who he is. And in order to change who he is, he has to come to terms that he is not this famous, all-knowing predator hunter, magical hero of society. Well, he could be. That's the thing. He could be.
Right.
He could put the work. He was talking the other day about this OSIC training or something that he has. That takes 36 months of in-classroom training, not online training. This is in-person training. He's claiming he's got these certifications, and this is what he's going to be teaching the church. Most of us in the military that took that training know that that's not true.
Wow.
You know.
Well, you know, he always says he's got all this training, but he can never show his certificates on it or whatever, you know.
The only trainings he has are trainings that you can get online, that any of us can get online. Combating human trafficking is an online course. It's not even 2 hours long.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've looked into a lot of that stuff because just over the years, a lot of us, too, I think a lot of us on social media that have had horrible things happen to us when we were children and stuff, over the years, we do research trafficking. We do research, you know, different child abuse cases or whatever. You know, that's something that I've just researched most of my life, just from, you know, being homeless at a young age and different things like that. So it's not that I didn't basically learn from firsthand experiences. It's just that I was young, and you know, when you're young and you've got weird shit like that happening to you. You get a little bit older, you want to kind of understand it, you know. So that's what some of us do. I know I did. Went in and, you know, I kind of wanted to know why things happen, you know, that happened, and not that it changed the outcome of it, you know, any way, shape,
Yeah.
or form. But I
And
think, yeah, I mean, when you can go back and you can kind of understand, okay, why did this person do this, or, you know, it can be very educational if you use it right. You know, definitely you want to use whatever you learn properly.
Yeah.
So,
And if you do want to learn it, you don't need to learn it from Ernie. Learn it from instructors, actual instructors who have decades in the field.
absolutely.
And have been in cases, on cases, recovered children, and found children that unfortunately, you know, weren't
Yeah, I
found
mean,
alive.
we just went through what the last couple years that movie came out, Sound of Freedom or something, and
Yes.
I think where a lot of people went wrong with that, and this is highly just my opinion, is because you know, a lot of people, it didn't really show cases that were happening in America. It kind of showed other countries, and there's nothing wrong with that. But people needed to realize that it was the story of a man. It, you know, it was a story about that guy, and I can't remember what his name was off the top of my head, but you know, it was a story about him, and you know, him getting into the child trafficking and stuff like that. So, you know how Americans are. They, you know, I try to tell people, um, it a child can be sold by their mother, by their father for $5. Uh, uh, you know, a hit of crack, a fifth of whiskey. Um, you know, children are just they can't. Children can't defend themselves, and it's really sad when you have individuals who do bad things to people, and especially, you know, familial. um you know, back in the 60s and 70s and even into the 80s, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't something that was talked about. Families kept it hidden, they didn't want to talk about it, you know, things like that didn't leave the family. And that was a sad situation, very sad situation. So,
Yeah, I agree.
but I don't know. I've talked about my life before. I don't hide anything I've ever been through, but you
I
know,
tried not. I mean, I tried to hide what happened to me when I was a kid for a long time. If it weren't for, like I said, if it weren't for my wife and Faith, I don't think I would have ever come out and
right,
told the story online, because I know that
right,
there's monsters out there that will use everything about you to hurt you. And for a while,
absolutely,
it used to hurt me. It used to hurt me until I realized that I can be an advocate, and in order to be an advocate, you're going to have to take some of the things thrown at you to be the advocate.
absolutely,
So,
absolutely. You just have. I mean, a lot of people just need to understand too that there's a lot of ignorance when it comes to, you know, trafficking and childhood abuses and different things like that. There's a lot of ignorance to it. And I'm not saying ignorance as calling people stupid. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is, okay, so you lived your life when you were younger. I can understand a lot of what you're saying because of what I went through when I was younger. There are individuals who, you know, grew up in a Leave It to Beaver home, and you know, never I had that, you know, things happen to them like some of us. And I am not saying that them people should have went through anything like we did, but I'm saying that you really have to you have to show a lot of grace, uh, a lot of grace to people. Just because you may not have been through something horrific in your childhood, you can't. To me, I would never disrespect anyone for anything that they've been through in their life. And I've said this before. To me, I I will never sit and say I'm a victim and I'm more of a victim than you because of what I went through. What you say you went through doesn't add up to what I went through. I will never do that. We all we it, I just feel the compassion and the empathy that I think every victim, should feel towards other victims for sure. And I don't feel like you can take someone else's trauma and, ever think that it needs to be put on a scale of, I went through more than you went through. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I look at trauma the same way as I look at sin. Sin is sin, regardless of which sin it is. Trauma is trauma, regardless of how severe or how minor it was.
Right.
We don't have a right to sit there and judge somebody's trauma over their trauma. And at worst case scenario, you do have to take all trauma as legitimate trauma until proven otherwise. Like, you can't sit there and go, it's fake because it doesn't match your trauma. That's not how a victim or a survivor or an advocate should act.
Absolutely.
So I look at it the same way as I look at sin, if that makes sense. So, like, yeah.
Well, I think with Ernie, like Mag said, has known the family forever. A lot of what Ernie says just isn't factual information. Now, I try not to talk about people's mommy, daddies, families, or whatever, but like we were talking about, he used his mother as an excuse that he had to be there for her in this time of need that his mother needed help or whatever, but yet he can't go back to Kentucky because he's got a warrant out. He's not in. How is he helping his mother when he's not even in the state? And
that was a question that the DA posed, which is why the request to remove, because he's been trying to remove that court date as far out as June. And they gave him one continuance, and that was for the one in February, and that was it. And had people not been submitting things to the DA to give him insight as to what Ernie's been doing while caring for his mother, most likely it would have been approved. They would have kept delaying it.
Right.
No.
Yeah, I mean, he should. I don't understand why he just doesn't go do his time and get it done and over with.
Because he's a coward and he's scared. He's scared of being placed in the same prison as Shelby Shell.
Yeah,
because he definitely knows he's going to prison this time.
Well, that's what gets me. Yeah. He is so afraid of his brother. Why is he so afraid of his brother?
Because he put his brother in jail. His testimony put his brother in jail.
I mean, Max said, I had warrants and been right here in Harlan County. Well, I think depending on, what you got a warrant for, a lot of times they're not going to come and waste their time to get you. A lot of times if you got a warrant on something, they don't even come look for you. They wait, and if you get pulled over or if they're called to your home for something, then they're like, oh wait, you got a warrant, so you need to come with us. Other than that, something small.
And here's a good question.
Come look.
Okay, Bags. And you never ran from the warrant, right? You stayed right where you were and waited. If they showed up, they showed up, but you never ran, did you? That to me that shows more honor and integrity than anything else.
Yeah.
When he filed charges on me with the police, I went right to the police station. I had nothing to hide. I went right there. This dude runs. He runs from the cops.
Well,
while pretending to work with them. Like, come on.
Yes, thank you. That's what in this right here, in this video that Wasteland done, he says in there, then we'll get it straightened out and, I'll be able to work with the cops again. I'm like, dude, you've been on here forever telling everybody that you've been working with law enforcement. Shelby's got until 2035. Wow. Yeah, that's a long time. That is a long time.
I've talked to his brother once in an email.
You talked to Shelby?
Yeah, and he spoke. I mean, he knows what his brother is, but he speaks very fondly of him. I don't think he hates him. I really don't think he hates him. I think he's angry, but I don't think he hates him.
No, it doesn't. I mean, just from what I've heard him talk and stuff, I mean, the dude will tell you he loves his brother. He loves Ernie. That's his brother. They've talked about Shelby and Ernie being close when they were younger, even in the same juvenile detentions together, or I mean, I don't want to say that they were in like a mental facility together or something, but it just seemed like him and Shelby were pretty, close to the same age, and all that was weird. That whole trial stuff was weird to me. Just different things that were said, and my intention when I covered the Shelby Shelb trial was it was basically a did Ronnie King get justice? And my answer at the end of it was no, and I don't understand why they didn't look at Ernie a little bit more, for sure.
I like I said, I still believe he's where he belongs, but I also believe a justice system is supposed to work for everybody. I think he got hosed. Right. I think he had a really shitty defense attorney.
Something weird was going on there.
Yeah. The whole trial, I've watched what you showed, and I watched what Katie showed, and I watched a couple of other people show it. And each time I look at it, and even my wife said the same thing, it looked like they just kind of like gave up and centered on him as the fall guy.
Yes, that's the way I've seen it.
And again, honestly, you have to remember, they didn't get him for murder. They got him for complicity.
Yes.
So did Ronnie get justice or not? They didn't find the murderer. They found somebody complicit in the murder. So even they know that there's more than one person involved.
Exactly. It just seems like that they didn't once they had Shelby, it was like, okay, well, we got one person, and I don't think that it's just, this is all highly my opinion after researching it and looking into it. I just think that that, let's just put it this way, I don't believe that the man who was murdered got justice. I don't think he got full justice for what happened to him. So and I can't believe that. It's hard for me. I am not a lawyer. I am not an attorney. I'm not a defense attorney. Never been a prosecutor. Never went to law school. And after going over that trial, I was like, even me not being that educated on it, knew that something just wasn't adding up there,
I have a question for you, Margaret. A lot of you people have known Ernie way longer than I have. When did he start first using that term, the killer inside? Was that when he got to YouTube? Was he doing that already on Facebook? Was he doing that before social media? Calling himself the killer inside? Like, when did that start, that saying? Because I'm kind of curious about that one.
Yeah, that is I'm glad you brought that up because that statement in itself is just really weird. You know, a lot of people say things and people don't look into it and be like, "Oh, what does he really mean about that?" I just googled it and pulled it up. I mean, that is someone who on the outside is portraying themselves as somebody that on the inside they're pretty messed up individuals. So Barb said she heard it on Facebook. Did he start that when because remember he Facebook, Max said she thinks Facebook.
Okay.
She
That's
thinks
interesting.
Facebook.
So it wasn't some kind of like wrestling persona then. It was something he started on and Facebook is where he started his whole Predator stuff, right? The
I
Predator
never
thing.
well, remember he did the face masks, the Halloween face masks and stuff. Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
the Barb said the mask on Facebook.
Yeah.
So that was a while back because that was way before. Was that before the wrestling stuff or after the wrestling stuff? So this is the thing people don't realize. Ernie has been doing this stuff for years. He now when what he did was he inserted himself, this is my opinion, into the Summer Wells case. 5-year-old little missing girl. Ernie inserted himself into that case. When he did that, he benefited from all of the mostly women who was following the they call it the Summer Wells community. I don't know if they're a community or not. But Ernie, he definitely you can go back and look. He started going to channels that were talking about her. He really inserted himself into that case, which gave him the attention of a lot of people. And he knew it. He played that. He took advantage of that. And a lot of times, Ernie, this is just what I've seen. Ernie will be on his channel, he'll be doing his thing. If he seems to feel like that he's not got the amount of subs he needs or not getting the attention he wants, out of the blue, he will say something about Summer Wells. And he knows when he says something about Summer Wells that he's going to get those people over to see what he's got to say. I don't think he's ever had anything worthwhile to say about the Summer Wells case, but that's just me. I mean, of course, a lot of people, we want to know what happened to that little girl. And a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, Ernie, please tell us, please tell us. I'm like, I don't think he's got a lot to say about it. Or he would already said it, but that's he knows he can say that to get that attention from that community. So, and I've seen him do it over and over and over again. So
yeah. Well, I've held your live up enough. I'm gonna drop down and let you continue on with what you're doing. And I appreciate you giving me a few minutes to.
Hey, no problem. You can come up here and talk to me anytime you want, Angelo.
Yeah, whatever flies is in the chat, I'm gonna come up and stalk flies because I have to keep her on her toes.
Well, you feel free to do that anytime you want.
Her and her squirrel videos.
I know. I like her squirrel videos. They're pretty cool.
I do too. They're fun. I wrote her a song for it. I haven't heard her play it yet.
Oh, I hadn't heard it.
Yeah, I think I sent it to her. I'm not sure if she got it or not. But anyways, much love to you all. Please stay safe. Please.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate the conversation for real.
Thank you, RC. You be safe.
All right, you too. Bye. Hey, Blige, drop Latin and Bappa's link for me, would you? I always appreciate Angelo coming up and hanging out and having a conversation with me, for sure. I mean, you know, I think Ernie's Ernie. I just pray that whoever comes in contact with him safely gets wherever they're going. I don't even know how to say it anymore. Fly said she didn't get it, but she saw it, though. Well, I am actually going to get off here. I've been on here for almost 3 hours. Thank you. Thank you, Lightning Viper. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming up. Mags, thank you for being in chat. Jackie, thank you for gifting the memberships. Jackie, I noticed you gifted the freaking memberships and you're not a member. What is up with that? Girl, I wish you would have got one of the ones I gifted. All right, so we ended up with 30 memberships tonight. Paula, thank you for the super sticker, honey. I appreciate that so much. Thank you guys for just hanging out and being supportive of my channel. I appreciate it so much. I love when people come over and we have good conversation, for sure. Now, I am going to say this. Thank you for dropping Mags, too. He just posted a picture of some lady in him. Well, maybe it's a girlfriend. Maybe it's his girlfriend. You never know. Oh, he's supposed to be at the church, isn't he? Well, Ernie's going to be Ernie. I just, I don't even know what to say about Ernie. But you guys check out Angelo, Lightning Viper. He has a lot of stuff about Ernie. You can check out Wasteland. He's got videos. Mags, Constance Sue has something to say. There are a lot of people who have absolutely let people know about Ernie Shell. So, I don't know. Like he said, you can't add your membership. All you all you got to do is at the bottom of chat, there's a little dollar sign right there. If you click on that, you can just go in and click membership. And where it says join, you just click join. And we're low budget over here, guys. My memberships are only $1.99. Okay. Sometimes it depends on what kind of what kind of card you have too. Okay. It depends on what kind of card you have. Sometimes if you have a certain card that you have your money on, it won't let you get a membership with it. It's okay. Yeah, there's the link to it. But look, if you can't become a member, I completely understand. I really do. Your card won't let you. How the hell did it let you buy 20 memberships then, Jackie? I'm confused. I appreciate you, Jackie. I really do. It means a lot to me when, people gift memberships and stuff because it should not say $2.99. No, you're on the wrong, you're somewhere you shouldn't be. My memberships are $1.99. They have never been any different. Never. Rose Quartz, $1.99 a month. You also receive, here, I'll show you. You also get 4 custom emojis. For sure. Well, Jackie, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. If I do a members only live, make sure you email me, because I will make sure to send you the link or send me a Facebook message, and I will send you a link, and that way you can come and hang and enjoy it. Because we will do one, and we're going to have some fun. We'll have fun, fun, fun till our daddy takes our T-bird away. For sure. For sure. So, let me get off here. Again, thank you, Angelo, Lightning Viper. Thank you so much for coming over and talking with me. I get lonely sometimes up here. Nobody ever wants to come up here and talk to me. I'm good with that, though. I appreciate everybody in chat. I appreciate all my subs, and I appreciate all my members. I really do. You know, like I said, YouTube doesn't hate you flies, and we're not going to leave you out either. You will get a link too. I know all this time and Flies doesn't get a free membership. That's weird. Well, the first of the month, hopefully, I will get more free memberships that I'll make sure to give out to everybody for sure. Thank you, little girl. All right, my ass is getting off here. Thank you guys so much. Jenny, as always, I love Jenny popping in. Jackie, I love it when you pop in. You know, Flies, Poppy, May May, all of y'all, thank you so much. We will, I don't know what we'll talk about next time. It's not letting you drop the link for the iPhone. I don't know anything about that stuff. I really don't. I am so illiterate on the computer, for sure. But thank you guys for being so supportive of my channel, coming over and hanging out. It means a lot to me. It really does. It really, really does. You guys are fantastic people. You really are. Fantastic people. And you're very much appreciated over here, for sure. You know, we may have our small little chat going on or whatever, but I love it. I love it. I love it. I want some more of it. You never know what you're going to get from this low budget channel. Go out there, be you, do you, have some fun. Go run around, cause a little havoc. I mean, we're all grown-ass adults, right? For sure. For sure, for sure. All right, going to get my ass off here. Appreciate you guys. I will catch you next time. Poppy, I know that your electric's been going in and out. Poppy still doesn't have freaking electric. So hopefully she'll get her electric back on pretty soon. For real. For real, for real. I hope everybody else is staying warm. And thank you again. Thank you, Jackie. You're so supportive. I appreciate you. I really do. I would appreciate you even if you didn't do that, Jackie. I want you to know that. You are a special person. For sure. Thanks, Linda. Thanks, everybody. Peace out. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for hanging out for 3 hours. Appreciate it.